Yes, dog. You know what I mean, dog?
We in, baby. Woo! Aloha mai. This gets cracking. How would they feel about the changes of our land? Why could you just imagine if they were around and saw a concrete jungle and highways on sacred ground? How would they feel about the disrespect of ancient lands? Well, no, tears will come from each other's eyes and they will stop to realize that's how the people are in great danger now. Whoa, tell me what would they say? How would they feel when the smiles being cut tape for the cry for the pains that they have seen? Now cry for our God, cry for our people, cry for our lands that was taken away. And then yet you find hope in it. Yeah. Wow. K.O. Kayana. Ono ea. Iwa. Wow. K.O. Kayana. Ono ea. Iwa. Wow. K.O. Kayana. Ono ea. Now all of the fighting in Kamehameha done to conquer all the islands. Now there's condominiums. How would he feel about the changes of our land? Why could you just imagine if he came back and saw traffic lights and the railroad tracks? How would he feel about the disrespect of ancient land? Well, no. Tears will come from each other's eyes and they will stop to realize that's how the people are in great danger now. Whoa, tell me what would they say? How would he feel when his smiles be content with a cry for the pain that he has seen? Now cry for our God, cry for our people, cry for our lands that was taken away. And then yet you find hope in it. Yeah. Oh, K.O. Kayana. Ono ea. Iwa. 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 Wow. Ea. Kaaina. Ika ono. Wow. Ea. Kaaina. Ika ono. The life of the land perpetuates only in righteousness.
Aloha kākou. Saturday, 21st, 2020, November. Darkside of Hawaiian Politics, episode 53. Good morning, kākou. Haleo keawe, maui a pi'ilani, moloka i ahina, hale kakui hewa, mano kalani po, ko Hawaii pai aina. Good morning. Now for your weather, moko keawe. Our north side, highs 78, lows 71. Our south highs 82, our lows 73. Our east highs at 75, lows 69, and our west tops out at 90, and at your lows 82. Which you hit Nalu, Moko Keawe, north 2 to 3, your south 1 to 2, your east 1 to 2, your west 1 to 2 with occasional 3, Moko Keawe, hit Nalu, weather and surf. Now, Olelo no eau, homework.
Olelo no e au, aloha mai kākou e ko Hawaii pai aina. Welcome again to another episode of the Dark Side of Hawaiian Politics.
Yeah.
today, as we like to start, always with our law, 46,695. Actually, I think we left a graphic from last week on this one, but
Keep
law
it rolling.
46,688. Yeah. So this has been 46,695 days since the usurpers overthrew our constitutional monarchy, and basically 127 years, as we know, 10 months, or if you're counting at home, 1,535 months. Yeah, 1,535 months, or again 6,671 weeks of illegal, prolonged genocide, occupation, injustice against Hawaiian people, against the lands, the resources, and the spirit of Ko Hawaii Pai Aina, the true lawful kingdom, government, and political status of these islands is as an independent, neutral, sovereign country, as we all know. So again, today we always like to acknowledge or count the days up, right? Because they want us to be programmed to their schedule, to the Gregorian calendar, to their numbers and games, and to go further and further into debt with these illegal occupiers. Yeah, they're over $26 billion or trillion in debt, right? So they're just making up money. They're just making up numbers. But we Kanaka, we're connected to the source, Ko Hawaii Pai Aina, and we taking notes, right? We watching, we're being vigilant. And this is not just another day, but day 46,695 of the occupation. So
That's where you're at.
that's where
and
we at,
let's
right?
get it.
So today is also Ole Kulua. So
Ole
getting
Kulua.
getting out of the Ole moons, transitioning into the new Malama, Velehu, Makali'i is here, everyone. So, you know, if you haven't gotten your Makahiki celebrations ready, your rations, your surplus, hopefully, and the spirit, of course, that came with the rains, came with the clouds. Make sure you guys is looking up, paying attention. And so today's Hawaiian value of the day, e ho'i ka mole, e ho'i ka home, e ho'i na kupuna. Right? So the value of ho'i ho'i, ho'i ho'i ea, return the sovereignty. But ho'i na kupuna, e ho'i ka ala kupuna, return to the pathway of our kupuna. As all of us know, as Kanaka, this is pretty much the pathway up the mountain. No matter which path it is, we taking the path of our kupuna. We may have to cut some branches. We may have to,
Clean the ala.
clean out a lot of the developers and the squatters and the pilauticians along the way. But as we ho'i along this ala, make sure to check who's around, who's the ohanas here in the aina, in the elements, but also walking with you, doing the work with you. So e ho'i ho'i ea, e ho'i ho'i kako, I ka mole, I ka home, I ka malu o nā kupuna, o ko Hawaii Pai Aina. Let's go.
Let's go. Homework mahalo. Lono i ka
Celebrating it
makahiki,
today.
everybody. It is the season, right? Even though we don't physically get down, we still are training and we're still in session.
Right.
So keep your guards up and never let them down. Lono i ka makahiki.
Yo.
First one up today, kako. The $11 billion rail. So, kako, the $11 billion rail. We are finally getting to the crux of the issue. Yes. So, civil beat comes clear to 2033, and its tolling tag price is around 11 billion. So this project will be now delayed for 13 years. Kako, yeah, the original 20-mile line, 21 station stems system across to start carrying passengers at 2020 is now being postponed. And you guys know that one of the main stations that they have is on DHHL lands. And thank you to Bill Amalaya and all of those cronies that working in DHHL that allow that station to be put up whether it was a land swap, land switch, whatever Tom, Dick, and Harry joke you guys get out there. But the bottom line is, Kako, the bill gets higher, 11 billion around who? Sounds like the shit show, because that's what we're looking at now. You're looking at a 13-year expansion date, right? Delayed date. You're looking at 11 billion. With that being said, we, the Hawaiian nationals, and not only the nationals, the citizens in Ko Hawaii Pai'aina should put real pressure on this corrupt government who lied about the mismanagement of the properties that it was going to be used to the price tag that what we see now that's going to be stuck to. When you look at it, 13 years, so you're looking at your children's bill, yeah, now 13 years we're going to be going into this, so our grandchildren are going to be feeling these effects to years to come. With that being said, I have to call out the collusion. The collusion is unbelievable through state, county, federal grant monies. This shit show continues to pile, and we're not done yet. They said it's 11 billion around. Well, guess what? It's gonna grow. Homework. Ooh.
Well, 11 billion. You know, I could say so much about the rail again and keep smashing on this fail rail, the never-ending story, the never-ending dry story of the fail rail, right? And all the pilikia that comes with it. You know, one of the main things that I like to point out as well is
Give it to 'em.
the fact that Oahu is full of water resources that are underground, right?
Yes.
It's not like our mountain where it's a big old volcano and two big volcanoes that haven't been etched away by time and water and natural elements. Yeah. Oahu has been primed, and that's why the Ali'is were there. That's why Maili Kukahi did his land divisions the way he did, right? It was because the water was so plentiful coming from these valleys, coming underground, and there's all these underground springs, underground caves. There's a whole underground cave system, and you can see this graphic here sort of points out the different points that they go. They extend from the bottom there at the palace, Pohukaina, across to Waipahu, across the Evas, up to Kealaula, up to Kahuku. You know, so all the way around the island there are these underground cave systems, just like all the other islands, right? We're volcanic islands, so our kupunas were running through, the natural elements as well as the kamaka. And so, you know, all of these projects definitely compromise that. But again, going back to the rail, $11 billion, right? What else is costing us $11 billion of fake state monopoly money? Well, if I did a little bit of research, and the 2020 elections, the U.S. Elections cost a record-breaking $11 billion as well.
Oh.
So another shit show that we gotta pay for somehow indirectly, right? For the big facade and the charade and the political postulating and theater that goes on. So that's an $11 billion price tag on that blockbuster. Another $11 billion project was Trump's wall, right? It went over $11 billion, the Mexico wall, border wall. And the federal shutdown last year in 2019. Remember when there was the shutdown? This is before the pandemic. There was the federal shutdown, and that cost us $11 billion.
Oh, so magic numbers.
I see some 11 popping around right now as you know, the fake state and the fake numbers of the fraudulent economy shows itself, rears its ugly head. And we supposed to pay for them, right? Our keikis are supposed to be bought in for all of that. Well, you know what? $11 billion, that shouldn't be on our dime.
11 billion
You can take it out of the trillions and trillions that you guys owe us.
So, next up on the chopping block, we got presidential corruption, Kako. So you know, like we know, we've been presidential corruption.
That's good, yeah.
Yes, presidential corruption. So presidential corruption, you guys are familiar, the oceanfront property that is or has been purchased from the state of Hawaii is really prime state lands that should be in the Department of Hawaiian Homes inventory.
This is out Kailua side,
This
right?
is
Out in
this is
Kailua?
no, this is at the new spot, right? And these properties, how we see it, have continued to plague our community. So the environmental law, yeah, state officials, right? This environmental law has been in place for nearly since the fundamental of our beginning. Our ocean ways, our waterways, our shorelines, yeah, to not alter and to not damage the current process, the natural evolution of our currents. And with this being this gigantic parcel that the president has acquired along the coast, the Waimanalo, yeah, is a very huge piece, kako, few acres or so. And these things, this property here has found a way through the loophole, kako, yeah. The environmental law does not allow these activities according to DLNR, right? DLNR rules and operations and functions, but somehow the president finds a way to get an executive order decision to alter the environmental law that surrounds the historical beaches.
Nice little loophole for the
A
prez.
nice little loophole. So you see the presidential corruption. This is an abuse of power, kako. And that's why this must be addressed, because the president, just like the United States of America, right, are the illegal occupiers that are executing their foreign powers and policies over our natural resources and our environmental laws.
Right.
And so if we allow one president to do it, then obviously, a bunch of other presidents will violate our space, our environmental laws.
We're seeing exactly how the state and the feds like to operate here in Hawaii, right? They're so hypocritical when it comes to following the law, following due process, right? And they just streamline whatever they like for their cronies, for their higher up friends, for their dignitaries, for uncles, brothers, cousins, aunties, scam or nonprofit or otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So here we just see it on a large scale. We see the president of the United States, or a former president, right, who has ties to Hawaii, Punahou, right? And there's a whole other story we could talk to about that. But for now, we just stick to the headlines here, right? Like, these guys are finding loopholes to develop and change our ocean beachfront properties forever, right? So it doesn't end with the military trying to do it at Bellows in Waimanalo. Doesn't end with the county of Honolulu and the state of Hawaii trying to do it with their parks at Hunananiho, right? You also have to look at the private development with all the special interests and all these key players that help streamline the deals, sweeten up the deals so that they can slide through, right? Look at the rail over there while we're building up right over here, cutting them down for all our friends.
So
Gotta smash on that. Bust out the Kawilo. Yeah, Obama, bend over.
Obama,
Right. Come on, buddy.
let's get it.
Come
Coconut
to the Big
oil.
Island.
Next up, kako, on the chopping block for this week that the community must be aware of
All right, what
is
we
the
got?
police commission,
Oh,
kako.
again?
So the police
Again?
commission,
Oh,
if you guys were paying attention to the police commission this past week, we have brave people stepping up to the
okay.
plate.
That's what I want to
So
hear.
police reform, yes. So Commissioner Michael Broadwick asked the cue ball, 8-ball Susan Ballard on Wednesday to provide a detailed briefing at the December 16 commission meeting on the reporting findings and recommendations. So the analyst found via Civil Beat there were over 2,300 incidents in which officers used force last year, up from 2,070 instances. So in 2018, these cases include physical contact, confrontations, unholstering guns, and deploying pepper spray, and using a baton, and police killing 5 people, as reports showed. But this is where we come in on the dark side, right? It is noted that native Hawaiians or Pacific Islanders, such as Micronesian Samoans, are more likely to get beaten with these batons, sprayed like pesticides,
Taser.
tased, illegally detained while trying to get to their vehicle with not even getting to their vehicles. So
We've been shot
you know,
and killed, yeah.
these is what we're discussing right now. Is I'm so proud that that this commissioner Michael Broderick, right, heeds the call of the natives and the Aboriginals and the locals. Yeah, we are only a minority, but we get beaten the most. We get put in prison for the lesser crimes for a longer period of time. And so this really ruffled Suzanne Ballard, yeah, stunt double Linda Lingo. She basically denies every aspect of discrimination via race, religion, right? But let alone these results show a different story. It shows a clearer story of what Ballard is capable of. Extreme racism. Extreme racism to the locals of the Pacific Islands and to the Aboriginals and the Hawaiian Kingdom heirs of Kauai Aina. So if you got brown skin, you're most likely going to get the baton.
Yeah.
If you're brown skin, you're usually going to get the bug spray. And if you're usually brown skin, you're going to stay overnight.
Yep.
So with that being said, mahalo to our new commissioner, Michael Broderick, to have the courage to speak up, which you already know it's wrong. Yeah, and for Ballard is a smash, because you keep on playing with our community and say that there is no harm being done.
Yeah.
There is equality being shared. Well, Michael proves you wrong.
Yeah.
Homework.
Yeah, I just want to point out that this stems from a long history, really, of police brutality.
Yep.
Of
there it is.
Really, if you look at it,
there it is. Where you got this?
Imperialism, baby. That's imperialism. You see, Bugger with his big stick. Yeah, speak softly but carry a big stick. That's how a lot of these violators like to act. That come from the U.S. The occupiers and their powers.
Does that look like Mitch Roth's uncle?
Hey,
oh no, sorry.
Well, it's good. I think this
look like Mitch Roth's uncle over there. See how man?
Well, we gotta be keeping a watchful eye though, because right now,
on a real note,
all of our counties have new prosecutors. Some of our counties have new mayors, right? So there's new heads in charge. We have to look at what are their backgrounds.
Yes.
Is it in prosecution? Is it in giving pa'is to Kanaka Maoli on their own homelands while ignoring their
Where's
rights
their
and
stat sheets?
not recognizing their true political status?
I want to see the stat sheets. Triple doubles, Hawaiians, Micronesian Samoans. Is it just that guy?
Right, between the legs, around the back, spinning around and around, right?
All Polynesians.
But, so keep a watchful eye. Maka'ala, right? Your prosecutors, your new county heads, and all the way up to the head of state. That's why I showed this picture of, I think this is Roosevelt, right? But you can see the native peoples below, and he's swinging the big stick. Yeah. There's a new president, right, in the U.S. head of state. So there's a new vice president that has some experience as well. So just keep a watchful eye, guys, because the police state is definitely how these guys operate: control, extract, and dominate. So maka'ala, mahalo to these guys stepping up, blowing the whistle, and asking the pointed questions to their bosses, to their peers, really, at the Honolulu Police Commission.
And not only that, but look it up, Mitch Roth. Are they gonna order some more machine guns like the guy Tony Montana, the DLNR agent who said he got a lot of friends? So exactly. you gotta figure it out, Kako.
The pamilitarized police state of Hawaii needs to reform its policy and disarm itself.
Yes.
Right? Disarm itself so that the rest of the world can start making itself safer as well in the same vein.
With that being said, homework. Next up, we got the
rest
COVID.
of you guys make your arm strong.
We got the
Private.
COVID-19 update freak out, and we would like to start off with the promise of promise, and it's basically the we are not going to evict you Hawaiians during the pandemic, right? The no rental eviction till 2021, kako. And that's what we have an issue with, yeah? They promise us no evictions, but can sit, can walk, right? People are getting tagged down Ala Moana, Waikiki, 5 minutes apart of each other, 5 citations within an 8-hour sunlight time frame, and we got this to wake up to. Another shit show presentation of we won't evict. What is the eviction rate during this year? Yes, let's ask how much family members have been taken advantage of, right? Handicapped and non-handicapped. Yeah, people telling people to move out of houses in 30 days, right? People telling you gotta get out in 30 days because we have a coronavirus issue that we need to rent to a higher cost, right? I believe this is an issue during the COVID-19 that we must call out and hold them accountable. We want to know how much data is out there of evictions that happened, that have took place. We want to know what ethnicities were taken advantage of. And we want to know, was it by force or was it by letters? Yeah? Some people got forced out of their homes. Some people received letters. Some people are in mitigation. Some people are houseless now.
Yeah, some people don't have homes to be kicked out of, right? And they're dealing with the discrimination that's in these policies and in these headlines, yeah, because this looks like something good on face value, right?
Yeah.
It looks like something good. Emergency proclamation, no rental evictions,
right?
But look at the details, like we've said in the past, right? No rental evictions.
Yes.
Right. So the whole of rental industry, right, which is based off of this this fraudulent title that the state operates with.
Yeah.
And this whole real estate scam that happens in Hawaii with all these political players as well. So no rental evictions, okay, that helps, that almost helps these other guys out, right? These big landowners and everyone trying to figure out how to process these sort of issues during this time, yeah? So I just want to point that out, right? The headlines are often misleading, because Hawaiians are still being evicted from their homes,
Hawaiian
from
homes
their
all over.
lands, from their beaches,
Evictions.
from their bushes, from wherever they are, right? There are still Hawaiians being evicted and still dealing with tyranny from the state, and we got to smash on that. We got to smash hard on that, right?
Yes.
No matter how pretty a little headline from Honolulu says and looks, right? I can smell what that is. I can smell what the rocks is cooking.
Hear you, cousin.
Woo!
Next up,
Smell what those rocks is cooking.
on the chopping
Smell
block
those buggers cooking rocks.
for the Hawaii Kingdom pandemic, right? So this week, Civil Beat, right? Civil Beat puts up a wonderful article, Kako. And guess what it entails for you. January 20, 1881, a large crowd gathered in Honolulu Harbor to bid farewell to King Kalakaua, who was leaving for a year-long diplomacy tour around the world. So Queen Liliuokalani takes over while he is out and doing his diplomacy. And so, like always, foreigner ships entered Oahu's bustling harbor carrying Chinese laborers with smallpox. And the disease that year, the 30 years prior had killed 10% of the native Hawaiian population. So what we see here is our princess at the time, King Kalakaua, Princess Liliuokalani, to govern in his place, and they made the decision to keep Hawaiians safe.
Yup. Shut the front door.
Shut the front door. As we were left out, while Kalakaua has to do his diplomacy, right? The Chinese have contracted smallpox, not to their fault, but the laborers are being pimped out to go to the land and basically work, and puts our families in danger, puts our ahupua'a in danger, and basically kills 10% of our Hawaiian population during this time frame. So it's ironic that the state of Hawaii wants to reflect on the Hawaiian Kingdom as they keep on pillaging and taking away during COVID-19. If they would have read this article, they would see that the Hawaiians, the houseless, are not victimized, but safeguarded. Yes, Kako, safeguarded. She is not going to allow her family members or communities to be affected because of labor contracts and money being an issue. With that being said, Kako, I only can mahalo our legacy of how to be during these times of labor pimping, bringing mass diseases, influctuating. Just like our Christmas tree this week had a snake. That whole container should be turned around, should be searched on the barge prior to even being engaged. With that being said, go read your quarantine laws, your kumu kanavai. Go ahead and research it. It's a great reality to read, and it's fully coming in a circle right now. And that is our solution for our COVID-19 freak out.
Right.
Put them on the island, make sure they clear it, and then you may enter into a society where you are needed.
Shut the front door. That's what the kupuna said. Shut the front door. As we see, all of the problems that come here are invasive, are foreign, are due to programmed, systematic sort of genocidal techniques and imperialism, right? Capitalism, rampant capitalism that rides with this white supremacists in the same rail across the sky, right? So anyway, another example of how our kupuna were ahead of their time, right? We're being proactive during the times of crisis and never let the safety of their community get in the way of some economic fraudulent economic system, right? Even Lili'u, while she wasn't technically the head of state, right? She was. She
knew what to do. Yeah, she knew what to do.
Kalakaua gave her the keys while he was out of town, right? And you see, she really proved herself during that time where Kalakaua went away,
right?
When she held it down. So a lot of people don't give her credit for what she was able to accomplish during the time of Kalakaua's reign, not just in the 2 years that she was there and the usurpers took their opportunity to express their ultimate white supremacist attitude and overthrow our country. Yeah. So again, mahalo to our kupuna for keeping us safe, for showing us the way.
Dialoguing it, keeping it all in tight contract.
That's it, baby.
You just got to go and visit it, man.
Nana ike kumu, right?
Yes.
See you on the ala. We're getting back on that ala kupuna, guys, right? Not just in the pala, but physically, right? Spiritually.
Yes, Eola. And let's wrap it up for this back half of the chopping block homework.
What we
stretch it out for a little bit. This last one right here.
Mini chopping block. Who wants to chop?
So Kako, today,
chop.
sorry Kalamayo was late, but if you guys was watching,
we never used this enough today. All right.
Never use them enough.
Where
So if you was following, we was posting up for our YPO Valley heirs, the list of the heirs, the family members. This is for you guys, 8 o'clock today. You guys are down there right now. The Ohana is down in YPO Valley, or down up at the top. And they're basically holding ground to educate the tourists who continue to go down there recklessly and going in people's kuleana lands and basically not going to where they're supposed to be. And our Ohana was showed up,
a couple days ago.
Just a couple days ago.
It's ongoing, right? Like
it's
you
ongoing.
said,
Today's
happening today as well, Saturday.
Wave signing, 8 o'clock. Meet them at the valley on the top. They'll be there, Cousin Pat guys, and all the Ohanas down in Waipio. And we support this, the Ala Nui, the 1892 Ala Nui, the laws of the road, the kanavai, and the homes and the families of the kuleana heirs are the true key to the safety of the valley and its historical monuments and national treasures. And that's everything we have to protect and preserve at all costs. So mahalo to the Waipio Valley heirs, the Ohana, because we know, just like a lot of these issues, right? The government, the county, are fraudulently, with Bishop Museum, giving away, leasing out our Kuleana lands.
Ooh.
So here again, Kako, roll call.
Oh, okay,
Here again, roll call,
I'll
Kako.
cue it up. I'll cue it up.
So we have to
Call the Ohana.
make these roll calls because it's very important in this time to call these heirs above, for they are the solution
Yes.
for the issues
Yes, a
that
big
surround
part.
safety and the true owners of those kuleana and those historical national treasures that must never be violated by any tourist, knowingly and unknowingly. And the only way we can do that to survive and make sure it happens, we have to stand at the front gate and demand your name and your kuleana. And that's where we're at today, Kako.
What's your number?
What's your number?
What's your helu?
What's your
LCA,
helu?
RP,
And that's what we have to come with to today, Kako. Your name, if your name is on this list, this kuleana list, then you are a special Kanaka, and you and your time has just been called.
Your time is
You've been dormant for some time, and now your number is being called.
Kanimai,
So, if this is your number, Ohana,
Kanikapu.
if this is your family, if this Inoa is in your Ohana, please contact for more information Tita Kekoolani, and she, if we don't have her info on this right now, this is what she wants to help with the family kako, the bill, right? The bill, the ancestral ties, the ala, and she, just like a lot of families, need your kokua to come home, and that list is specifically pertaining to you guys. So there you guys have it, Waipio Ohana. If this is you guys, if this is your Ohana,
Right. If these are your Ohana right here, should we name them out?
Go
should
for
run
it.
the list real quick. John Wood, Koko, Kialoha, Kailikani, Kaiviho, Kaivihoa, Kalamai, Koi, Kavili Kopa'a, Kamai, Ka'aiaia, Kamahi ai Kua'aina, Ka'aniho, Kaluli, Kaunaunahi, Kuakahela, Ka'aukai, Kaiape, Uma, Wahakole, Wailua, Konohiki, Pahe'e, Hele Ihonua, Kiave Kolohe, Kahiamoe, Ka'amoku, Na Ailuhi, Opihi, Kulu, Leahi, Keli'i Mahi Ai, Kaiape, Kahili, Koli'i, Kaoivi, Kaolulo, Kauanaeha, Kupele, Wailoa, Ki Papanui, Kekoa, Kahulilau, Kaho'omai, Lu'ai, Lono, Kaholo, Maka, Makuakua, Mauna Kui, Namai, Nakoko, Nalepo, Nuku, Nana, Opunui, Ohule, Pua'anui, Papau, Keave, Kaheana, Kaoeno, Paele, Keli'i Holomoana, Keli'i Nohopali, Ka'aiae, Ho'okio, Hamohamo, Hapu'u, Kahulanui, Kua'ana, Kaua, Kahavalu, Ka'elemakule, Kalua, Ka'aiai, Kapaka, Kawahine Ai Nui, Kamakahiki, Kalama, Ka'aukai, Makaku, Kalawai'a, Ahukini, Vaio Kalehua, Vahakane, and John Wood. That's the roll call for today, baby.
Let's go, Ohana.
YPO. YPO, stand up. Where you at, baby?
So YPO Ohana, that was the roll call for you guys. We will post this again today. We'll post the names up today, and we'll move on to the next spot. And it is yours truly, we are going back
to
to
the
Iao
back
Valley.
to the Maui. Yeah.
So Maui, mahalo, Iao Valley, Tita, ohana name?
yeah, Ornelas.
Ornel, oh no, Kalamai,
That's not the,
Kalamai.
we have the
Ornelis.
Ornelas Ohana and Iao holding it down, right?
Yes, Arnelis. Kalamai never have the picture, but our Iao Valley Ohanas, we mahalo you guys for going yesterday and the following days to Malama, our sacred historical national treasures.
Aye.
And it's a fire, kako. It's burning. Waipio Valley, our valleys of the kings, Iao Valley, their valleys where their kings lay. The kahea is going out, kako. If you guys have the time to go out to Iao Valley and get a hold of Tita, her name is
Alena Ornelas.
Elena Ornelis. You guys see her Facebook page. Go check out her page.
Check her out on Facebook.
Get her contact.
Just get connected with the Ohanas over there. If you're going over there, no mahaoi, go over there. Connect with the Ohanas.
Connect with the Ohanas. Over there is not for spectating.
Yep.
It's for working. It's for protecting.
Maui is coming in hot right now, guys.
So Iao Valley,
we gotta
heirs,
add to
mahalo.
that fire.
Mahalo Maui Nui Akama, Piilani. Stepping up, hearing the call, creating the kahea. Yeah. Creating that space. We mahalo you guys all the way from Moko Keave. Yeah? And now, that homework, what you got to say for this battle right here, Iao Valley.
Iao Valley. Well, I also want to just remind everyone, right? That's why I'm trying to queue up these photos here. But Iao, as you can see, is right. It's such a secret area. We know the battles and the different legends and mo'olelo that are associated with it. But in this time, in this particular time, right, we have to also look at the vai. Iao is up here at the heartland of Maui, of the east side of, or the west side of Maui, right? And Navai Eha, the four main waters of Maui, come right through this area, right through this district. And so it's not a coincidence that the waters are leading us back home.
Eyo.
Right? The waters are leading us home, leading us to our kuleana, leading us to our aina kupuna, to our ala kupuna, leading us to, to our purpose here in this time and in this aina, right? So Waihe'e, Waiehu, Wailuku, and Waikapu, they all sort of come off of Iao, right, which comes off of Wailuku, right there in the heart of Maui. And on the other side there, we have Lahaina, right, where a lot of the action is happening in Kauaula. And so you can see the connection. The mountain is connected. The wet side over here connected to the dry side over there. The Kuleana land owners, the LCA patents and heirs. You guys are being summoned to return.
You've been summoned
to the kingdom.
from Keakua.
Right, the kupuna is whispering in your ear. Lono ikamaka hiki brought the waves, blowing them strong right in your ear.
Let's get it. So the last one up, the last up on the chopping block. Of course, it's never the chopping block when you're at the back half
Right.
of the chopping
What else
block.
we got? What's the last one?
We got Kauaula
Ula.
cases.
The champs.
The champ is here. Oh man.
Kamaka oka
Did we
ihe.
just say that? The champs is here.
Kamaka oka ihe.
You see him? Take a look at him.
Yes.
Take a look at him. That could be your grandma. That could be your mama. That could be your tutu.
Let's give him some solo time real
But
quick. We don't
give him
need
the
to
solo.
see-
Give him
we
the
don't
solo.
See us right here.
Give him the solo.
This is who we talking about, right?
Give him the solo.
So what happened here? This looks like a celebration, baby. One little press conference to acknowledge what? What happened? What did the county of Maui do? They threw these cases out. They said, no, we're not touching it. This fireball is too hot for me to touch right now.
Yes.
I go wait till the bugger cool off, turn into pohakus before I figure out how to dig them up again, right? So mahalo to the wahine koa of Kauaula, right? Who stood kupa'a, who ignited this movement,
Yes,
this fire out in East Maui or West Maui, Kalamai.
East Maui, West Maui, all over Maui.
Yeah,
it's gonna light my fire up all everywhere,
I
anytime,
can
one
smell
time.
the keen fire over here on Mauna
Okay, east
Kea.
side, west side, east side, whatever side. Say bang, 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 bang.
Oh yes, mahalo
No matter what
for
side.
leading the charge of bringing our people home and back to their kuleana. Ready to risk it all, no matter what. We standing for our
Ooh.
kupuna. Even if they dug the
Risking
hole,
it
we going
all.
in the hole, just like these wahine koa.
All in.
That's what I like to see.
All in.
Oh,
So
baby.
to wrap it all up, to
That's
give
what
that
our
little,
kupuna deserve.
to give it
Nothing but
a little sequence what we're
all in.
discussing,
What we doing?
we're gonna show what we believe is inspirational.
Mm-hmm,
We got the dismissal. We've got
So it's our rapid aloha. We showing some love
well,
at the same time.
we gotta show some love, right? So all of these issues, right, stemming all the way down to Iao Valley, right? This is what we're talking about, right? You're down at the valley, Waipio, you're protecting the kings. You down in Iao, you're protecting your queens and kings. And then the final story is dismiss.
Yep. You know it.
I love that, you know, I love that. You can go protect, you can go tell people you're crazy, you can go protect your EVs down in Waipio, you can go all the way out to Maui. And the story is, if you have a TMK, you're dust. But if you got Kuleana Land Awards, it looks like it's a dismiss with prejudice.
Kanaka, come home. Kanaka,
Come home.
That's what it is right there, guys.
So
You know,
everybody,
that's how
Kako,
beautiful home looks like sometimes, right? Doesn't look like one high rise. Looks like the high tops of our mauna, of our pu'u, of our, you know, of our kualono and our kuahivis. So mahalo.
mahalo, mahalo,
Kulia
mahalo.
ikanu'u, right? Reach for the highest and go with caution. Because you get plenty of work to do on the all along the way, right? We
Yes.
gotta open up this path for the next generation, guys. We gotta open up the path so that we don't have to run through the same roadblocks from the state and county and the feds and all the genocidal collaborators that try to disrupt the harmony that we're trying to bring to the Aina and to the community. So mahalo again to the kupuna out there, to all the tips of the spears on all the islands, on the Kuleana lands, in the sacred valleys and in the sacred mountains, and all of the hands helping out na mana mana in the fish ponds, in the lokoia, in the kihapai, in the Aina. We making Aina, everybody. We returning
Let's
to that Kuleana.
fucking go.
It's sweet. It tastes sweet during makahiki, right? We get to take a little sip. We need to take a
And
little
as
bite.
we get our constitutional oath breaker for this week,
Oh,
right?
okay. What? We gotta hit somebody
I
on the
gotta
head.
hit the no,
Gotta
no,
hit
no, no,
somebody
You
on
gotta
the
hit
head
them in
real
the head.
quick.
And
Okay.
this is what I'm gonna hit on the head
Who you
today.
getting? Who you getting?
The presidential hit. I want the presidential hit.
The presidential
I want the
hit.
presidential hit.
Oh, okay.
You see that place right there, Kako?
Yeah.
That's what I want. We have to
Rearrange it a
smash on this presidential
There we go.
mullet, right?
Presidential mullet.
This guy is
Oh.
continuing to violate our environmental laws, which is punishable by death, right?
Yup.
So let's not play, Kako. When we pick the
There
constitutional
you
oath
go.
breaker,
Now he's looking at the paddle.
There you
now
go.
He's looking
Now
at
we're
the
looking at
paddle.
the paddle,
Okay,
Kako.
watch out. Watch
Watch out.
Yeah.
that looks like a fadeaway shot. So you know people don't make a fadeaway, right? When they do the fadeaway, that means they're scared.
Yep.
And so with that being said, the Mama Aloha Kanawai, I believe this week constitutional oath breaker has to be our environmental law,
Yes.
supreme law violator. Violations that continue to pen, and there's your constitutional oath breaker of the Kanawai.
A sweetheart violator.
A sweetheart violator.
Hey, that's a sweetheart violator. Well,
Who you got?
know,
Who you got? Who you got?
If you're on the top of the pyramid, I got a paddle for you right here, right in Puna, right in Papa'i, and the rest of us Kanakas on the rock, right? We thinking about you. The Papa'is, the Opihis, the
So you agree?
Hauke-ukes,
So you
the
agree?
Opukais, right? You better hang on to that hala right
Yeah.
there, and you better hold on to that club,
The
because
lie.
the truth is coming down hard, baby.
I see him. You see,
Vela,
Vela is too hot. You see the pa'i coming down. It's too hot. Vela.
Pa'is.
With that being said, there's your
Pa'is.
constitutional
Hey,
oath breaker
Papa'i power.
of the
Papa'i
week.
Power.
Hey, your violation, your constitutional oath breakers for the week
There you go.
is the president. And now a rapid aloha as always, man. We got to give a rapid aloha out to all those ohana who continue to go out there and handle it. But first and foremost, cousin, always handling. Bite my eye, bite your eye.
Bite
Every
the
time I like bite your eye.
Bite it,
But
don't
you only
fight
can
it.
bite one time. So Check out Cousin if you're lucky, when you're lucky, because everything's sold out by the time you open your eyes and wash your maka pia pia.
Of course, of course.
So,
Shout out to everybody getting ready, gearing up for Makahiki.
There it is.
You might have
No
had
need
some
for Makahiki.
celebrations. You might have done some ceremonies. You might have got your kuapola ready. You might be busting out your akualoa for the oil, the coconut oil. But either way, hopefully you guys is getting in the spirit and not getting caught up in the programming of the fake state, trying to keep us divided, trying to make us think about, Biden and Trump and all these other talking
Foosballs.
head, right?
Foosballs.
Foosballs. We don't need that trash over here, guys. Let's throw coconuts and crack those coconuts, right?
And
We
so,
can-
Lono,
we can make
bring
some
it in.
nice coconut water for the
but
next gen.
my rapid aloha goes out to you know who? The
Ohanas.
roll call.
Yes,
Let's
White
go,
Pio.
White Pio. We're gonna post it, repost today.
Yes.
And to the heirs of Kauaula, we're gonna repost that bad boy today.
Yeah.
And that has to be my rapid aloha coming into finals.
That's
and what
all.
is you? You got any more for that rapid aloha? Get your
the spirit of
get your
Makahiki.
extract for
Huh?
makahiki.
Of course, there
Just
you
in
go.
case
Some-
you get beaten in hakamoa, right?
Some
You know,
extract.
can swim. You can't even beat in hakamoa. You gotta, your knees sore. You got slammed by kepa,
Yeah.
whatever you got, right?
Oh, watch
So-
out, bro. Where's your hardware? Let me see, cuz.
And of
Let me
course,
see your hardware.
our
You better have
Royal
one Makahiki trophy with that.
Hawaiian Kingdom, right?
Right.
And our Royal Order,
Royal
our
Order.
sponsors,
Mahalo
right?
to Royal
Who
Order.
always sharing the information
Hooking
and our
us up.
families' legacies.
All
right?
those Kanaka artists out there actually doing the grind right now, especially during the pandemic, right? Thinking of new ways to get their content out there, rooted to the Hawaiian Kingdom, rooted to the true political status of these islands, rooted to the Ohanas, right? So mahalo to all of them. We'll keep making the connections.
And Kako, go ahead if you guys haven't checked it out, Hawaiian Kingdom Airs page. We go down through the roll call by individual names per day. So if you guys
Who you on
missed,
today? Who you on today with the roll
today
call?
we're still in K. So if you
Case.
missed, we
That's
came
gonna
out
take
of
a long
Kalavai
time.
Anui. We came out of Kalavai Anui. So
Nui.
we are coming right around the
Yeah.
corner. And if this is you guys, check it out on Instagram. If you guys are looking for a name, or if you guys are looking for ahupuas or some kind of connection, it's always good to get ea educated.
Yo.
So let's go, Kako.
Yes.
Your rapid aloha for this week.
Rapid
And-
aloha. All the Kanakas out there in the fake state system fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
For me, I just want to say mahalo to the judges out there
Ooh.
for dismissing my
Laubach.
case as I appeared under duress for my traveling charges that stem from years of traveling as a Hawaiian national in my country of
Kanikapu.
origin with my
Kanikapu.
government at my side.
You heard
but
that,
anyway,
Kako? Kanikapu.
Kanikapu, baby.
So
if
there
you need
is
to
hope.
learn more about how to do the things that we do, if you need resources, if you need even tips like what kind of motions to dismiss you might need to utilize for your case, or what kind of discoveries you might need for your case, reach out to your Kanaka Maoli, reach out to your kupunas right now, reach out to the royal families.
The royal families.
Holding it down, holding their kuleana
Remember,
up,
check on your guys'
right?
kupuna out there, Kako. Yeah, check on your kupuna out there. Make sure they have mea'ai. Make sure they're mentally checked in.
Yep. Keep
this
your
is-
hands clean. Wash your hands before you touch the poi, before you touch the kalo, before you start playing with the dirt. Make sure you
Mahalo
wash
nui,
the hands.
Kako. Mahalo Maui, Kawaula. Mahalo Waipio Ohana, ko Hawaii Paiaina. Continuing to inspire.
And all you guys watching right now, we love you guys, man. We love you guys. You're the only reason we keep doing this. We're reaching out. One day you're gonna hear your family. One day you're gonna feel your kuleana. You're gonna feel the tug. You're gonna feel them in the breeze. You're gonna feel them in the rain.
Yes.
Right. Maybe one leg kick from Kepa too. You might feel him with one leg kick from Brother Keps, the national crisis.
Oh, man.
Anyway, do your homework, everybody. We love you guys.
Next week,
What else you got?
tune in. Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. Ku aloha aina.
Oh yeah.